Right now, about 57% of Americans say they're living paycheck to paycheck. And here's what keeps that cycle spinning. It's not just low income. It's the fact that most people never learn how money actually grows. They think building wealth is about earning more. But the truth is, it's about understanding one force that quietly turns small amounts of money into life-changing wealth. That force is compound interest. And today, I'm going to walk you through the 3 stages of compounding, so you can see exactly where you are, what's coming next, and why most people quit right before the magic happens. Let me set the stage with a number that sounds almost unbelievable. Warren Buffett made over 99% of his wealth after age 50. At 30, he had about $1 million. By 50, around $3.8 billion. Impressive, right? But today, his net worth sits above $150 billion. Almost all of it came in the later years. That's not luck. That's not a hot stock tip. That's compounding doing exactly what it does, rewarding the people who stay in the game long enough to reach the later stages. So let's break those stages down. Stage 1 is what's called the slow build. This is roughly years 1 through 8 of your investing journey. And honestly, this is where most people give up. You open a brokerage account or start putting money into your 401k. You contribute $500 a month into a broad index fund, earning around 10% annually, which is close to the S&P 500 historical average. After year 1, you've got about $6,300. After year 5, maybe $39,000. By the end of year 8, you're sitting on roughly $72,000. You put in $48,000 of your own money. The market gave you about $24,000 in gains. It's growing, but it doesn't feel explosive. It feels slow. It feels like you're sacrificing today for a tomorrow you can't quite see yet. This is the stage where people look at their balance, compare it to their goals, and say, "This isn't working." They pull out. They stop contributing. They chase something faster. And that decision costs them everything. Because the whole point of stage 1 is not the return you see. It's the foundation you're laying underneath it. Every dollar you invest here is a seed, and those seeds are about to start multiplying. Stage 2 is the acceleration. This covers roughly years 9 through 12. This is where compound interest starts showing its hand. Your money is now earning returns on top of returns. That $72,000 from stage 1 is generating its own income, and that income is being reinvested, creating even more income. Using the same $500 a month and 10% annual return, by year 12, your portfolio crosses $138,000. But here's what matters. You only contributed an additional $24,000 in this 4-year stretch. Your investment gains during this period alone were roughly $42,000. In stage 1, you were doing most of the heavy lifting. In stage 2, your money starts pulling its own weight. The snowball is rolling now, and it's picking up mass with every rotation. This is where you start to feel it. You check your account, and the number is noticeably higher than last month, even though you contributed the same amount. That's compound interest accelerating. Stage 3 is the explosion. This covers year 13 and beyond. This is where everything changes. Let's keep the same example. You're still contributing $500 a month at 10% annual returns. By year 15, your portfolio is worth roughly $208,000. You've contributed $90,000 total out of your own pocket. The rest, over $118,000, came from compounding. But it gets wilder. By year 20, your portfolio is worth around $382,000. By year 25, it crosses $664,000. And by year 30, you're sitting on over $1.1 million. You contributed $180,000 over those 30 years. Compound interest generated over $920,000 on top of that. This is the stage Warren Buffett was in when his wealth exploded from billions to hundreds of billions. And it's available to anyone who understands these three stages and refuses to quit during stage 1. Now here's why this matters to you right now, wherever you are in your journey. If you're in stage 1 and it feels painfully slow, that's normal. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing the hardest part, which is building the base. The returns feel small because the snowball is still forming. Keep going. If you're in stage 2 and you're starting to see your money work for you, protect that momentum. Don't withdraw. Don't stop contributing. You're approaching the curve where everything bends upward. And if you haven't started yet, understand this: the cost of waiting is brutal. A $10,000 investment earning 7% annually turns into about $76,000 in 30 years. Wait just 5 years to start, and that number drops to $54,000. That 5-year delay cost you $22,000 in growth you'll never get back. Time is the one ingredient in compounding you cannot buy, borrow, or recover. There's a simple concept called the Rule of 72 that makes this crystal clear. Take the number 72 and divide it by your annual rate of return. That gives you the approximate number of years it takes to double your money. At 10%, your money doubles every 7.2 years. At 7%, every 10.3 years. The first doubling feels slow. The second doubling feels faster because you're doubling a bigger number. By the third and fourth doubling, you're watching your wealth multiply at a pace that would have seemed impossible on day 1. So what do you actually do with this? 3 things. First, automate your investments. Set up a recurring monthly transfer into a low-cost index fund or your retirement account. Remove the decision from your daily life, so consistency isn't something you have to think about. Second, reinvest everything. Dividends, capital gains, interest. Let all of it compound. Every dollar you pull out is a dollar that stops working for you and stops multiplying. Third, lower your fees. A portfolio charging 0.5% in annual fees versus 0.1% can cost you over $1 million in lost growth over 30 years on the large portfolio. The 3 stages of compounding interest aren't complicated. Stage 1 is slow, and it tests your patience. Stage 2 rewards you for staying. Stage 3 changes your life. Most people never reach stage 3 because they abandon the process during stage 1. Now that you understand how this works, you don't have to be most people. If this shifted how you think about building wealth, subscribe to Frankie Finance and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.